Good day, students. By the way, I am Miss Resume C. Ligan and welcome on this video. And we're going to talk about the introduction to research. Okay, so I have here a question. Why do you need to learn research? So why do you need to enroll on this course? Why do you need to conduct research? Why do you need research in your daily life? Just to pass with your course requirement, which is the research paper, or maybe you need research because you want to graduate, or maybe you need to learn research because this is part of your program. But actually, research is part of your daily life. You do research to answer your assignments in school because you cannot rely just only with your stock knowledge. So you're going to research from your books, or you're going to research with the Google, although you cannot find the answer, but the process on how to answer that assignment or how to answer that problem set would help you in finding the answer. So that is why you need to do research or to learn research. So, regardless of what path you choose in the future, you always do research. Therefore, you need to have this continuing learning about research. And this course or this video will provide you an understanding about the nature of research as well as the basic research process. So let's proceed with the nature of research. What is a research? Don't you know that research comes from the old French word searcher and the affix re? So when we say searcher, it means to find or seek. And when we say re, it means to do again or repeat. Because in doing research, you're just not only doing finding an answer or seeking for an information once, but you have to do it over and over again. If you have an experience, no, based on your experience, you just not only research for just only one information. You have to verify that information if that information is reliable, or you have to do more research to support that information. So, research is a systematic process that involves objectives creation, hypothesis testing, and investigation of facts, methods, data gathering, and analysis in order to provide an answer and solution to the existing problem. Why is it a systematic process? Because of this. First, you have to identify your problem, and based on that problem you have to identify the objectives on how to solve that problem. And another is you have to do the hypothesis testing. You have to verify if that the tentative answers or the theories that would help answer your research problem. And also investigation of facts. You really need to do research or to seek information which you validate its truthfulness, and you have to make sure that those are facts. And also the methods. What are the methods that you are going to do in solving that problem? The data gathering as well as the analysis. So this is the systematic process. It should be organized step by step in order to provide answer and solution to this existing problem. Depending on a research interest, a research may take one of these two possible forms. We have the inductive or the deductive. So let's have first with the deductive. In deduction or in deductive research, the goal of the researcher is to test the concepts and patterns known from the theory using new empirical data. You have to verify this theory because the theory will provide you a tentative answer of your research problem, and you have to verify if that answer is applicable. So how? By testing the hypothesis. So that is why, in validating this theory, you have to do data gathering to come up with the observation. Okay, so for example, there is a theory stated that allowance could drive students to do better in performing the school. And you have to validate this theory through observations. So maybe you will conduct survey or interview about how the allowance could affect the academic performance. So that is the deductive. And now let's proceed with the inductive. So in the inductive research, the goal of the researcher is to infer theoretical concepts and patterns from observed data. So from the observed data, you're going to generalize from the observation. So for example, in your observation, it shows that student allowance has a positive effect on the academic performance. So that is the result of your observation. So you notice that those who have high academic performance have high um, allowances. So yung mga matataas na grade sa klase nyo, maybe malaki yung mga baon nila or malaki yung mga allowance nila. So on that, you generalize. You will generalize from that observation. Therefore, the higher the allowance, the higher the academic performance. So that is your generalization based on your observation. Why research is important? I already presented this a while ago on why do you need to learn research. And these are the common answers on why research is important. First, it helps you to find solution or answer from your problem, which is really true. If you're curious with something, you're going to do a research in answering that curiosity and to find the truth out of that curiosity. And it enables you to contribute knowledge and discoveries to the existing body of knowledge. And it empowers you to establish facts and create conclusion. So this is actually based on your observation or based on your findings of your study, you would be able to create conclusion which are also based on facts because you have that evidence. And that evidence is your data collection, the result of your data collection. And it helps you to prove a theory supported with relevant facts. For example, there is a theory about students are more motivated to do better in school if they have high value of allowance. So through your research, you're going to prove if that theory is a fact or a bluff. Then, of course, with your findings, you have to support it with relevant facts. So let's proceed with the basic research process. So actually, writing a research paper is like constructing a building because when you construct a building, you need to have a vision. You need to have a foundation, right? If you don't have a good foundation in constructing your building, that building would be fail or that building would not be firm as it is. So just like in research paper, you have to establish a good foundation, which is your research topic, in accord with the consultation of your review of related literature. And also, constructing a building involves process. The same with the writing a research paper. It also involves a systematic process. Okay? Step-by-step process. So that is why writing a research paper is just like constructing a building. So this is the basic research process. So the first thing you do in making your research is, of course, to select a research topic because your research topic will serve as the foundation of your research. So from this research topic, you're going to identify the research problem or research questions. So you have to make sure that this problem would relate with your research topic and would provide a way to to obtain the main thesis or main purpose of your research. And from this problem or questions, you have to use this as basis for the review of related literature. And of course, in doing the review of related literatures, you need to make a list of possible sources that can answer your questions. What literature do you need to review and why? You have to make sure that your sources are related with your research study. And after finding, no, reviewing the related literature, you have this enough understanding about the methods that you are going to use, the main findings from other researchers, the variables that they need to consider for that specific topic. Then you're going to design your research and to design the methods based on this review of related literatures, because without doing this you don't know what are you going to do or what are the methods that you are going to partake in order to solve these problems or even to create a research. So if you have already the design, the research design methods, and the instruments that you are going to use, especially in collecting data, then you can collect data. And after data collection, you will conduct data analysis because you have to, again, to analyze the data that you have collected. And it should be based on your research problem. And from this, you are going to present the result. The result could be in tabular or in graphical form, but there are also other researches used to have a descriptive form in presenting their results. And you have to make sure that these results are based on your research problem and also with your research topic. So that is why these two are the foundations. Okay? And from this presentation of results, you have to discuss the results, not just only by presenting the figure there and let the reader understand that result. So how can they understand that? So you have to discuss it and to create an implication of results. So that is why you have to use your review of related literature here in order to support your result or in order to support your discussion or your claim in your study and also to support the findings of your study. So this is the one of the most critical part because you have to gauge no more on facts no, given this result. And from this, you're going to summarize your findings, which is also in accord with the research problem or questions. And from this, you're going to make a conclusion. So your conclusion should answer the main thesis of your research topic. So in doing conclusion, you have to be careful in making your generalization. And based on the conclusion and also with the results of your study and based also with your problem, you're going to make recommendation. So this recommendation serves as the potential solution on how to address the problem given the results and given the with all of this process. And after this, you're going to list all the references. This serves as giving credit for the sources that or for the other literatures or for the other researches that really help no, your study in support in building facts or in building knowledge. And from this, after you conduct all of this process, you have to evaluate your research paper. So it is really important that you have to invite your research advisor or your peer or maybe a panel to assess or to evaluate your research paper for improvement. So that is why you have this research defense, maybe proposal defense, or maybe research output defense, so that to validate no, the reliability of your research. And after this, you're going to finalize your research paper. So you're going to hire maybe a proofreader to check the grammar, the spelling in your research paper or to improve the mechanics. Then after that, you have the final paper and it is ready for publication. this is the basic research process. So why is this basic? Because this serve as the foundation in making your research. Let's proceed with the writing process, because in doing your research, you have to undergo with this writing process. So the writing process is a systematic procedure of writing a paper or a piece. So your piece here is your research paper. So actually there is no right way or wrong way in writing. So in writing process, there is a routine that comes naturally to which a writer refers. So this is the writing process. We have the pre-writing. So in pre-writing, you are going to think of an idea, to decide and build your idea, and to plan and structure your ideas. This is where your research topic exists, and also the planning stage on how you will going to create your research. And from pre-writing, you're going to move on with the drafting. So this is the stage of writing process assumes that you have adequate information and understanding about your ideas. On this stage, you may apply what you have completed in your pre-writing process. So you may apply the ideas here. And after you have your drafting, the next process is the revision. So in revision, you have to make your paper better. So in making revision, you may adopt the ARRR approach. We have the add, rearrange, remove, or replace. So maybe you could add more information based on your draft, or especially in your research paper. Or maybe you could remove unnecessary things from your research paper. Or maybe you rearrange the ideas in your research paper, or maybe you could replace those. There are parts that you need to replace, no, for your in doing your research paper. And after revision, you will do the editing. So in editing, you have to check for repetition, clarity, grammar, spelling, and punctuation. So editing is a detailed process in writing. So this is really best, no, when performed by the professionals. So you may employ editors or proofreaders to edit your paper. So take note that nobody wants to read a paper that is full of mistakes. So after editing your research paper, you will do the publication. So if you have completed your research manuscript, then it is ready to publish. So on this process, you may print your final paper. So is it a great accomplishment to finish your paper successfully? So once your paper is published, then celebrate your accomplishment. So again, after this publication, if you want to pursue another research topic, again, you have to do the pre-writing and this so on. So it's really a process. It's a cycle. No? The same with the research process, because in doing the research, you will encounter this. You will also encounter the writing process. So I think this is all for today's video about the nature of research, the basic research process, as well as the writing process. I think this is all for today's video, and thank you for watching, and I hope that you learned something on this. So if that's so, and then thumbs up. So by the way, I am Resume Silagan, and thank you, and goodbye.